And one of my coaches in junior high basically turned to me and said, Dave, you know what? That's awesome that's what you want to do, go out and try out for the high school team. But what I would recommend is you go try out for the soccer team or the cross country team or the track and field team, because more than likely you're not going to be the best basketball player because of your stature and that. Why don't you try out for a different team? And this was somebody who I respected. Has anybody here ever had somebody try to be a dream stealer?
Yes, sir.
And when he said that to me, I felt so disempowered. I thought he was going to give me some advice on how I could go after my dream, but basically, I felt like my dream was gone of being a professional basketball player. And so I went home, and I remember my father noticed that I wasn't doing very well. That I was kind of sad, and I wasn't. And by the way, this is my father and my mom right here. My father is my hero.
His first recruit.
My father is he's not the most educated person in the world. He was orphaned at the age of 8 years old from Cuenca, Ecuador. And at the age of 8 years old, he fended for himself. He was living on his own, living on the boats. He would make money by helping people bring their luggage onto the ferry and work for tips, and that's how he would make money. When he didn't have any money for food, he would jump into the river and pull clams. And that's what he would eat for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And his ultimate goal and his ultimate dream was to come to America to live the American dream. And he was able to accomplish that. From an orphaned 8-year-old boy, made it to America and lived the American dream, and he was my hero. And my dad noticed that I was kind of down, and he sat me down one day. He said, what's wrong, son? Something doesn't seem right. And I told him, I said, I wanted to become a professional basketball player, but my coach in junior high said that I shouldn't try out for basketball because I'm not cut out for basketball. And I'll never forget it. My dad sat me down and he said, son, don't ever let anybody steal your dreams. And when he said it with such authority, I was so shocked and scared, but now I'm paying attention. And he said to me, would you like to learn the formula to achieve any goal and any dream that you ever dream of? Would you like to learn that formula? And so I sat at the edge of my chair and I said, absolutely, what's the formula? How many would like to learn my dad's formula for success? I've applied this formula in every area of my life that I wanted to achieve something, and here's what the formula was. The first part of the success formula is D. He said, son, do you have the desire to become a professional basketball player? Is that a dream of yours? D is for desire. Do you have the desire to do that? Every goal and every dream, you've got to have the desire or else it'll never happen. And I said, absolutely, Dad, I do have the desire. And then he said, the next part is B. B stands for belief. Do you believe you could be a professional basketball player? And I said, Dad, well, before I talked to my coach, I thought it was possible, but he told me it wasn't possible. He said, listen to me, son, it doesn't matter what anybody else thinks. Do you believe you can become a professional basketball player? And I said, well, Dad, yeah, why couldn't I? If somebody else can do it, why can't I do it? He said, son, then you have to hold on to that belief, and I'll tell you what. He said, if you ever lose belief, just know I'm always going to believe in you.
Wow.
Yay.
And sometimes in this business, we have to believe in our team members before they believe in us. Sometimes other people have to believe in us before we can believe in ourselves. And then he said the last part, son, he says you got to take massive action. You have to take massive action. You can't just have the desire to believe without taking any action. You have to actually do something about it. And so I actually went out and I tried out for the high school team. And I was the worst player. But the coach actually put me on the team because I was pretty physically fit and I out-hustled everybody. I outran everybody. And when the coach put me on the team and he said this, he said, you're not a very good basketball player, but because you're so athletic and you work really hard, you're going to force everybody else to work really hard, so I'm putting you on the team.
Wow.
And that year, I sat on the bench the entire summer, we call it Summer League. And I never got put in a game unless we were winning by a lot or losing by a lot. And I realized I was not a spectator, I was a participant. I wasn't the type of person that could be sitting on the bench and just watch. I needed to be in the game of life. And so that summer, after that year the summer league was over, every single day for 8 hours, I would literally walk 4 to 5 miles to the gym, and I would start playing every single day to work on my skill. I found people that were better than me, and I started playing against them so they can make me better. I kept getting kicked off because I was too young, saying you're too young to play with these old guys. And when the lady at the park would leave, I would jump in to play with the old guys. And when she'd come back to see I was playing, she would yell at me and kick me out of the gym. But I wanted it so bad that I worked 8 hours a day, every single day, working on my skills. So when I came back the following year, my coaches were shocked on how much I had improved. So I ended up making the high school team, going to the varsity team, and ended up becoming, at that point in California where I used to live, after about 3 years, I became one of the best players in Southern California. Because I had the desire, because I had the belief, and I had the action. But now it's time to go to college. And many of the coaches are telling me, Dave, yeah, you're a great high school player, but at the college level, you're too small to play at the college level. So why don't you pick your major and see what you want to do? And so I truly believed that I was going to play college basketball. And so luckily, a coach found me and they gave me a scholarship to go play college basketball. Because remember, in my mind, I'm going to be a professional basketball player. So I have to follow the path. I have to stay on the path. And so eventually I go to college and I play in college. I played there for 4 years. We had an incredible team, an incredible coach. And all of a sudden I'm getting to my last year in college. And everybody's saying, Dave, what kind of job are you going to get when you graduate? I'm like, job? What are you talking about? I'm going to play professional basketball. Well, Dave, you realize you're only 5'8". You realize that there's no professional basketball teams that are looking at you. In my mind, I had no idea how it was going to happen, but I believed that it was going to happen one day. Everybody laughed at me. Everybody thought I was crazy. Has anybody here ever shared this idea with somebody and you tell them that you're going to go IMD and they kind of laugh at you?
Yes.
And they think you're crazy?
Yeah.
And a part of you in your mind is like, yeah, I really don't know how I'm going to do it. After college. So here was the success formula. So there's my picture in high school. Made the high school team. Back in 1992, long time ago. And then, so the success formula, desire plus belief plus action equals success. This is what my father shared with me. Equals success. And so after college, all of a sudden, I graduate college and I'm not playing professional basketball, but unbeknownst to me, it's amazing how life, when you stay focused and you stay committed, starts to happen. Unbeknownst to me, there were some scouts from Australia that were going to our games and watching different players. And while I'm at home, I'm still holding on to my belief that I'm going to play professional basketball one day. And all of a sudden I get a call. And an agent from Australia gives me a call and he says, hey Dave, listen, we got a team out here that's looking for a point guard, a small person to come and lead the team. Can you send us some tapes over so that we can see if you're a fit for them? I sent them some tapes. Within about 2 weeks, they called me back. And I signed a 5-year contract to play professional basketball in Australia. And this was and I'll never forget the first game that I ever played. See, here's what's amazing. Every single day since I started playing basketball in high school, I would play and I would remember sitting in the gym and I would close my eyes after I was exhausted practicing, and in my mind I would see my experience of playing professional basketball. From being announced before the game started to running out into the court, high-fiving my team members, seeing the crowd, playing the game. I saw it every single day in my mind. I visualized the goal and the dream that I wanted every single day for years and years and years. And when I flew out to Australia to play the first game, I remember sitting on the bench, and it was a surreal moment that for the years prior to what I visualized every single day was happening right then and there. How many of you visualize yourself being IMD? How many of you actually take the time just for 5 minutes a day to close your eyes and see yourself walking up on stage, having your name announced, then saying your name, the next IMD? See, it's not just about being IMD. What does IMD represent for you? Does it represent freedom? Does it represent more fun, more fulfillment, more opportunity, more choices? After that first game of playing professional basketball in Australia, I was exhausted after. And when I went home, I called my father. My father that was with me, that believed in me when I didn't. And I remember having a conversation with him. And I said, Dad, we did it. Dad, we did it. See, I didn't do it. I played a piece, but it was a team. It was a team of us that did it. That he was the spark that shared that formula with me, that allowed me to accomplish a dream. And ever since then, I share that formula with other people in hopes that maybe it would help them to accomplish their goals and their dreams. World Ventures is a vehicle to help you go after your goals and your dreams. You're a part of this amazing company. I thank you, Wayne. I thank you, Mark, for participating in my dream and helping me to be a part of this company. And I look forward to seeing all of you achieve your dreams with World Ventures. Thank you so much, Hong Kong. Love you.